Hello, I am Sonali Pawar. In this lecture, we are going to see some more examples of the for loop. Suppose I want to print the odd numbers between 1 to n, that also without using the mod operator. It means suppose user enter the 4, that is n is equal to 4, then output of this program will be 1, 3. This is the output of our program because in between 1 to 4 there are the only two odd numbers, that is also 1 and 3. Suppose I have entered the 7, then output of this program will be 1, 3, 5 and 7. So how to do this program using the for loop? So for I will say that for I is equal to 1. First do the initialization. Why I written the I is equal to 1? Because I'm starting printing of odd numbers from the 1. So set I is equal to 1 and I'm going to stop at the n. So write down I is less than equal to n and you can observe that after printing 1, I directly printing the 3. Then after that, I am printing the 5. So there is a difference between two numbers is 2. So I will say that I is equal to I plus 2. So when it prints the 1, after that it will increment the value of I by 2. So it will becomes 3 and it will print the 3 onto the screen. Through the printf, I will print the value. Printf, here we will print the value of I. Now here I is 1. After that it will print, suppose user enter key as 7 and I is 1, 1 is less than 7. So it will print the 1 onto the screen and after that I said that I plus 2 it becomes 3. Then it will print the 3. Then again it will add the 2 into the value 3 means value of I is 3. So 3 plus 2 it's 5. So it will print the 5 and after that it will print the 7 onto the screen. Let's check the output. No errors are there. Just execute your program. Suppose I enter the 7, it printing the 1, 3, 5, 7. These are the odd numbers which are present between 1 to 7. Now next thing is, suppose I want to print the table using the for loop. Suppose I want to print the table of 3, so that will be 3, 6, 9 and it will go up to the 30. So this is the table of the 3. Here what it means, I'm going to start from the 3. I will end at the 30 and I'm incrementing the value by 3. So initially I is 3, so it will print 3 onto the screen. After that I said I plus 3. So 3 plus 3 it's a 6, it will print the 6. After that 6 plus 3 it will print 9. So it will go up to the 30 because this is my termination condition. Now let's check the output. Let me erase this. Suppose I enter the 5 and it printing the table of 3, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 because there is a no any connection between this n and we are table which we are printing. Hard coded I have written that print the table of 3, but suppose I want to print the table of n means in this example I have entered the value of n is 5. It means I want to print the table of 5. So table of 5 will be 5, 10, then 15, like that I will go up to the 50. So in this case I'm going to start from the 5 and what is the 5 here, जो यूजर ने एंटर किया है वो वैल्यू. सपोज यूजर एंटर द value 5 at time n becomes 5. So here in general format I can say that start from n, initial value of I is equal to n, because here n is 5. It means directly I am saying that initialize I with the n, that's a 5. Suppose user ने enter किया 4, that time I will initialize I is equal to 4. So in general way I will say that I is equal to n, and after that here I am going up to the 50 in case of n is equal to 5. It means I can say that I will go up to the n into 10. So when n is 5, it means it will directly go up to the 50, and if n is 4, that time it will go up to the 40. So in general, I will say that instead of 30, I will say that n into 10. Now here, to print the table of 3, I said that I is equal to I plus 3. But to print the table of n, in general way, I will say that I is equal to I plus n. Because in this case, if you observe, I am incrementing by 5 and n is 5. So I will, in general, I will say that I is equal to I plus n. So this is the way to print the table of any number which is entered by user. So let's check the output. Suppose I enter the 5. So this is a table of 5. Again I will execute this program. Suppose I enter the 7. It printing the table of 7. So this is the simple way to print the table of any number. Now next thing I want to tell you about the for loop is here you all of you know that there are the three parts. First one is the initialization, second one is the condition, and last one is the increment and decrement of loop control variable. What is meant by loop control variable? Here I is called as a loop control variable because it controls the loop. Now here I have initialized only one value, but it is a possible to initialize the multiple values. Suppose I want to initialize I is equal to 0, but there is a one another variable j that also I want to initialize to 0. So it is a possible uh, to initialize the multiple variables, just separate it with the help of comma, and to separate out the initialization part with the condition part, put the semicolon. Same way you can increment multiple values. Suppose I said that I plus plus and j plus plus. It is a possible to increment more than one values, but you have to just put the comma between these two values. Don't put the semicolon, otherwise it will show you the error. Suppose I just printed these two values, %d. I said that I is equal to %d. This is called as a format specifier, %d, because data type of I is an integer. Now I will take a small number here. Suppose I said that 3. Just compile your program and execute your program. Now I is equal to 0. A second. Let me put the slashes so that it will go to the next line. Now there is a no any connection between this value of n because I have not used that value into my looping. So let me put it in comment. Just compile your program and execute your program. Now you can observe that I is equal to 0 initially. Sorry. I is equal to 0 initially and j is equal to also 0. After that I incremented the value of I by 1 and j also by 1. So both values goes from 0 to 3. But suppose I want to increment the value of j by 2. That time I can say that j is equal to j plus 2. It is possible. Just compile and execute your program. Now here you can observe that I is incremented by 1 only, but j is incremented by 2 because I said that j is equal to j plus 2. Now suppose I initialize the two variable, then it is not compulsory to increment the both variables. Suppose there is some situation where I want to increment only y, then it is okay. It is not like that if you initialize the two variable, then you have to increment this both variable. And it is also not like that if I initialize I is equal to 0, then you have to set another variable also to the 0. It is not like that. I can say that j is equal to 1 also. It is also possible. But only thing is, suppose you want to initialize multiple variables separate with the help of comma. Suppose you want to initialize here one more variable, just write down the comma and after that initialize that another variable. And same case for the increment and decrement also. Suppose you want to increment and decrement number of variables or more than one variable separate with the help of comma. Suppose I put the semicolon here instead of comma, it will show you the error. Now you can see there is a one error for a statement missing. I will just put the comma and you can See, there is no error and no warnings. Now, suppose I want to combine more than two conditions. To initialize a more than one variable, I put the comma. But what about the, suppose I want to write the multiple condition. Here there is only one condition, that is I less than equal to 3. But suppose I want to write one more condition. To combine the two conditions, use this AND or operator. Suppose I said that j less than equal to 3. Okay, so जब तक I less than equal to 3 है and j is also less than equal to 3 है, until they not become a greater than 4, execute this for loop. Okay, so just compile this program, execute. Now I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, and I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 2, and after that it come out of the for loop. Now I have written that j is less than equal to 3. Okay, but it will not execute it for I is equal to 2. Here you can see that I have written j plus 2. So when j value of j becomes 2, then 2 plus 2 it becomes 4, and it is a greater than 3. Okay, so it come out of the for loop, and because you have written the and, it means if both condition true, then only execute this for loop. So I will just write down here or. It means if any of this condition is true, then execute the loop. Now you can observe the output. It goes up to the I is equal to 3, because when j becomes greater than 4 but I is less than 3, so it will execute the loop. So this is the way to combine the multiple condition, and this is the way to initialize the multiple variables and increment the multiple variables. Now suppose I put at the semicolon here, then what will be the output of this program? Just write down the output of this program in the comment section, and I hope you understand this for loop. Thank you for watching my video.